Way before the traffic hits, so I can get my kids from school. And I know how like these people like to keep you there. You know, my experience with this RYker when I got it was the most pleasant experience ever that I've probably ever had, besides my Volkswagen, of buying a vehicle. Like I knew, like as soon as I decided what I wanted, the process was so easy. It was just so easy, and it was straightforward. There was no bullshitting, nothing, man. It was just straight up, this is what it is, this is what we gotta pay, and that was it. It was like in and out paperwork. The longest thing that took was the paperwork, and that's because they couldn't print the shit fast enough. So it's kind of like, I just want another experience like this. I did talk to the guy. The reason why I'm not, you know, I don't know, the reason why I'm not gonna say I'm not, but I'm gonna say the reason why I'm probably not gonna go back to woods, pretty simple. I don't know, I think I feel like the way they did me was kind of dirty. They knew I was bringing in a bike, and I was bringing in my Harley to trade it in. You know, the guys didn't tell me, hey, if you have an out-of-state title, or make sure your title doesn't still have the lien holder's name on it, and if it does, you're gonna have to get a lien holder release. So instead of telling me that or informing me of that, which these are things that they should know, especially when somebody says I'm trading in a vehicle, it's the first things that they ask. And what's funny is that when I started talking to this guy Homer over at Alamo Cycleplex, that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he asked me. The first thing he asked me was, okay, so you're trading your RYker, that's cool. Do you have the title? I said, no, I don't have the title, still owed him. He said, oh, okay, I was gonna tell you, if you have the title, you just gotta make sure that the lien holder's name is not on, or if it's still on there, then we need a lien holder release. It's the first thing he told me out the gate, right? So, you know, the fact that they didn't do that and wasted like a whole week of FOMO, and you know, the bike is probably gone, and the 750 is probably gone, the Gixxer 750 is probably gone. I say probably because a month ago I went to go look at the 1000, and the 1000 is still sitting on the showroom floor, and so, you know, who knows if it's there or not. I just know that it's been hard to find 750s around here, and it seems like when somebody lists one, it's like it's gone. It's like they don't last very long. They're gone pretty quick. So it's fucking windy today. Holy shit. So I kind of, you know, lost hope with that, because again, my lien holder release is not going to come in for like another 10 business days. I put that request in on Monday, and they told me it would take up to 72 hours, 24 to 72 hours to process and get it notarized, and then the mail out is 10 business days. So, you know, when you're dealing with financial companies and things like that, just go ahead and give them the longest amount of time that you might have to wait, versus the shortest, because usually it's never the shortest, right? So I just said, you know, it's probably going to be about 13 business days before I can even probably see that thing. So I just, you know, kind of just went ahead and said, hey, look, probably not going to get the bike. So what does that mean? So I just started looking around, and you know what, and what really got me thinking is that I bank with Navy Federal as well as USA. I haven't checked out USA yet, but I might. But I was looking at the little calculator there on Navy Federal, and I started to realize, damn, the percentages that they offer are like almost 3% lower than what Woods was offering me with their finance company. And so I was just like, shit. So I just started playing around with the numbers, and ultimately I wanted a 1,000 RR. You know, I said RR, thinking of the S1000. I wanted a 1,000 Gixxer 1000R, but that 16 to 17,000 was just kind of like, I just didn't think it was going to be feasible. I never really put the numbers together, so I was just looking at whole numbers. And so when I saw the Gixxer 750, to me, obviously it's a better price point, way better price point. So I just like, you know, it'd be much better. And plus I was just looking at in terms of what I pay now on this thing, which isn't very much, and I'm comfortable with that. I was looking at that and I was just like, okay, well, I need something that's going to get me to around this number, and it looks like the Gixxer 750 is probably going to do that. So I was leaning more towards the Gixxer 750. What got me thinking was just simple, like, you know, I was on the forums, listened to a couple, you know, hearing some people, you know, talk it out and say, you know, say things like, you know, people shouldn't really be going to FOMO over the 750s and the Gixxer 1000s, for that matter, simply because they haven't changed the bike that much, and, you know, really in a long time. You know, the 750's been unchanged since like 2011. You know, the Gixxer 1000 probably since like 2008 or 2009 or something like that. Maybe, you know, I'm not really sure about the Gixxer 1000, but what I do know is that the bike that they keep putting out is not any newer besides the color schemes. So, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I don't need to really FOMO. Like, this bike, I'm not going to be able to get a hold of it because it's just selling out the door, right? So I was just like, well, let me start looking at it, and I just started realizing that, you know, the electronics, people were saying like, hey, you know, Gixxer 750s are great if you're not into like electronics and things like that. That it's just the bike, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like a raw bike, kind of old school. It's not a bunch of electronics. You know what I'm saying? There's no quick shifters and things like that. And I started thinking, like, it's been so long since I've ridden a street bike. I wouldn't mind getting on something that's just a pure bike, like that, because the last time I rode something or owned something was when it was just a pure bike. There was no quick shifters and things like that. So I didn't have any of that stuff on my ZX-9R. Didn't even think about things like that. So I didn't really pay attention to electronics until I started looking at the BMW S1000R back in like 2012. And it was just like all this stuff that they had, like wheelie, anti-wheelie mode, ABS, all this stuff, man. It was just crazy. So put my visor up. So when I started seeing that stuff, man, I was just like, well, you know what? It comes with a quick shifter up and down. It's, you know, it's got some tech on there. You know, things like that, things of that nature. And it's just like, you know, if I get the 750, is a probability that just for the fun of it or just for the hell of it, I'm gonna want to try put a quick shifter on it, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. And it's like, do I want to spend the money afterwards putting things on there that the Gixxer 1000 already comes with, you know what I'm saying, like braided you know, braided steel brake lines and things like that. It's like, do I want to do that shit afterwards, or do I just want to do it like now, you know what I mean? Like, so I just kind of started thinking, like, you know, it's best that I probably just get the 1000. I've always wanted a leader bike, and you know, even though the 750 is a better price point, I'm not completely ruling it out, but I would just really rather have the GSXR 1000 or the 1000R. With everything that I kind of want to do to the GSXR 750. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, the electronics go, I feel like it's kind of worth it. I don't have to add it, I don't have to do anything to it. Less messing with the bike. And there's, you know, I can just concentrate on some of the things like that I'd be just okay with doing, and that's like exhaust and a tune. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like in the near future of owning the bike. I mean, I just think it makes more sense. When I started playing around with the calculator, I started realizing that, you know, at 60 months, 72 months, I think I'd do 60 months on this. But at 60 and 72 months, you know, I can get around the same payment, plus or minus 30 bucks, you know what I mean? Not minus, but plus, you know, maybe being about plus $30 on it, you know. So to me, it just kind of makes more sense. It's like, well, you know, maybe I should just do that, you know. So, but I am being, you know, reasonable. So what I'm going to do now is we're going over there to Alamo Cycleplex, and what we're about to do is they have two they got two used GSXR 1000R. I think one is a GSXR 1000 and one is a GSXR 1000R, and they're both 2022s. I think they're both in that Nordic gray, I believe. And one of them, he said, has a exhaust on it already. I need to find out if any of them have a tune, because if it has a tune, booyah, that's one less thing I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So unless it's done right, it just depends on who did it. You know what I mean? If I can verify that and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just like, you know. And they listed the bike at a cheaper price, you know what I'm saying? This is at, they got one of them listed at $13,999, so basically $14,000 versus the brand new price of a GSXR 1000R from, you know, the 2023, or in this case, I don't know if they have any 2024s rolling out yet, but you're looking at like $16,100. I think most of them, the dealers around here, have them listed at about $16,140 or some shit like that. Some crazy. So to me, you know, 14,000 versus 16 and some change before, you know, TTL and all that, to me is a little more reasonable. I don't need to have a brand new spanking bike, you know what I'm saying? So let me make sure I know where the fuck I'm going. Staying out north. Alright, so, you know what I mean? So to me, it just, I'm willing to do that. I think he said both bikes have about, I think he said one had like 1,200 miles, the other one had like 1,700. So I'm just like, alright, that's not bad. You know, I just need to know. I need those motherfuckers to pull the bike facts, the car facts on that shit. I want to make sure, I want to see if it's ever been, golly, shitty road. What a shitty road. I want to see if the bike's ever been laid down. I want to see, you know what I'm saying? I want to see these things in person. I want to make sure it has a warranty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure it's good, because I'm not buying anything used from a private seller off Facebook Marketplace. Let's go! I'm not buying anything new on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, he's down. Hopefully he's not down because he wants to be. So, like I said, you know, if it's legit and the numbers make sense, like I already told the guy, I said, hey, look, I'll come out there and check it out. one thing I never suggest for you guys, even if you are trading in your bike or trading in something, any vehicle, even if it's a car, never tell them, if they ask you how much do you owe before they give you an evaluation, don't ever tell them, because it's the same thing as them asking you what would you like your payments to be, because they can make your payments to about what you want them, more than likely. But the issue is how much is it going to cost? How much is it going to cost you? Right? So it's like, don't ever tell them what you want your payments to be, and don't ever tell them how much you owe on your trade-in until they give you a fair evaluation on your trade-in. They're just gonna undercut you and try to get you to spend that money. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, you owe $10,000 on your bike, right? And they ask you that before you say, I owe $10,000. They're gonna come back and say, oh, okay, well, we can give you $8.5, right? Then you're gonna have that rollover. You're gonna have that rollover to your next loan. And usually on motorcycles and like power sports and things like that, the banks sometimes aren't as lenient as letting you roll it over. You know what I mean? Sometimes the banks aren't as lenient by letting you roll that over. Most times, if you owe $1,500, you owe that remainder, the bank is usually going to tell you, hey, before he can get this new loan, but he's going to have to put that remainder down as a down payment. You're going to have to put down that 10% or whatever it is. They want that money up front because they're not going to just let you roll it over. On a car, they'll be more willing to do it based on your credit, but not on a bike, man. Not on a bike. So if you don't have that kind of cash already laying around for a down payment, don't even tell them that. So it's just one of the things that I learned, which you shouldn't do. And you know, just gotta be smart, man. They're trying to make money, you're trying to spend the least amount of money. And just don't let them give them an avenue to kind of screw you over, because when you're at a dealership, they love cash and they love down payments. So they love those kind of things, and they'll get you to spend it if they can. So my plan, my wife already told me, be safe, don't buy anything. So, you know, in my head, if the deal is good, right? If the deal is good, technically I'm waiting to seal the deal with a possible down payment, because I want to lower my APR, and I want to, you know, my APR percentage, I want to lower that as much as possible, and I want to keep my my payment as low as possible. So that's the only reason why I'm considering doing a sizable down payment. And so with my Harley money, my Harley proceeds, right, the only way I'm doing this deal where it's just the RYker and no down payment is if the numbers just make stupid sense. If they make stupid sense, then fuck it, I don't need to wait on the Harley proceeds. I'll just do the deal, and then when I get the proceeds from the Harley, I'll just pay down on it, right? I'll just pay down on it and drop that, you know what I'm saying, drop that on the payment for like a first payment. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But again, one thing that I have learned is that you don't need to FOMO. You don't need to FOMO, man. Yeah, you don't need to FOMO with these things. These bikes, I don't like to say a dime a dozen, but these bikes aren't going anywhere. And I am willing to wait for at least a 2022, at least minimum, on a Gixxer. I kind of narrowed it down. I'm not opposed to a Kawasaki. I'm not opposed to that at all. But the Gixxer and the Kawasaki is probably what I'm leaning towards. I kind of threw out the BMW because, again, I checked the dealerships around here. There's not many. There's one here in San Antonio. There's another one in Austin. And then you got to go to Houston. None of them are selling motorcycles because of the stupid ban that they have on it right now. Voluntary ban. And so that's kind of out of the way right now. I can't do that. So it just kind of sucks, man. But you know, that's not even out of the possibility, because like I said, I'm not going to be in any rush to grab anything. I want to make sure it's the right deal, and I want to make sure that I feel comfortable with it. I'm very comfortable with not having a brand new bike. Alright? Very comfortable not having it. Doesn't need to be brand new, doesn't need to have 0 miles on it. I would like one, but again, it doesn't really matter. And with motorcycles, to me, what's more important is the amount of miles that I put on it, and what kind of tire was that? Is it salvage? Did it get dropped? You know, the condition of the bike, the warranty that it should come with, things like that. Now, you're spending thousands of dollars, you want to make sure that your shit is warranted. If something, you don't drive off the lot, something goes wrong and you're fucking stuck. You don't want to do that. And that's what a lot of people play gambles with when you're buying privately owned. So, a lot of people gamble with their money when they're buying private. And everybody puts a high price tag on their privately owned sales of their vehicles. I mean, you can go on fucking Facebook and you'll see the most I mean, I don't think I've seen a bike that is, I'll say from at least 2004 and up. It doesn't matter which liter bike it is. Shit, it doesn't even matter what 750 or above is. I don't think I've seen one below $5,000 for sale. And these motherfuckers can have 30,000 miles on the ODO. You know what I'm saying? 30,000 miles on the ODO, man. And that's crazy. Like what people want for their vehicles when they're not worth that. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing I learned as well. Don't keep a bike longer than 4 or 5 years. 4 probably being the most now, in my opinion. 4 probably being the most right now. And I say that because the value just goes down terribly. Like for example, if I would have traded this in last year, just last year, I could have got at least $10,000 for my trade. Could at least got $10,000 for it. Some of the dealers that I've been to around here. Shit, did that go? Oh, okay. Yeah, some of the dealers that I went to around here, they don't want to give any more than 6. And I'm just like, holy shit. Depreciation went down $4,000 in a year. This is a 2021. Right? I'm just like, wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And so my thought process is that, look, if I don't get rid of this now, even if I take another year to pay this off or less, it's going to be worth even more. It's going to be worth even less next year by the time I pay it off. And so it's going to be like, damn, at that point, it's like, do you just keep your shit and get another loan, full-term loan? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's bullshit. It's like, it's really bullshit, but, you know, so with these, man, with these bikes, I know I got to make a decision. If you're going to keep it, or if you're just going to fucking flip it after about 3 or 4 years, get your fun out of it. My thing with bikes is I like to keep the mileage low so that it has a little more value. You know, you got some people that get these bikes or get any bike, they put like 10,000 miles on it the first year. like, holy shit. So it's like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't ride like that anyways, you know. I don't really ride like that, so it's just one of those things where it's like you keep the miles low on your bikes and the dealership still wants to screw you over. And I think the dealership has a good game plan, because let's be honest, just like myself, I'm not even interested in a used bike unless it's coming from a dealership. Do I know the dealership is going to try to get us, you know, the maximum amount of money as possible? Yes, of course. But you know the true value of a vehicle. You know what to look for. And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, look, I'm not going to buy your used bike when you're selling it basically, you know, $1,300 to $2,000 less than a really brand new one. It's like, that's fucking ridiculous. You're never gonna sell a bike like that. So they know that, you know. So either you gotta haggle them or you just walk away, man. Some other sucker will come and buy it right off the floor. So that's kind of my mindset. I don't want to touch a bike that's privately fucking, it's being privately sold at all. You don't know what the hell people have done with it, you know, what kind of abuse it's been on. And I personally wouldn't buy a bike that had more than 12,000 miles on it. I don't give a shit how old it is, unless it's like really old, like an older, you know, I would call it classic. I would consider it. Freaking traffic is going so fucking slow today. What's going on? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to haul ass back. We're gonna have to make this shit quick. Really, really quick. I'm not sitting in this fucking traffic. Man, he's throwing shit all over me. Yay. But one of the things I'm gonna miss about this bike, if I do trade it in, is definitely the comfort. The stock seat is comfortable. The riding position is pretty comfortable. My back is hurting a little bit right now, but it's been hurting the last couple of days because I have my own back issues. But for the most part, this bike is really, really comfortable. And that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. When I was on my Harley, you know, you're sitting up, just like you're sitting on something versus leaning into it. So the first thing I did notice when I did sit on that 1000 double R, or no, sorry, it's not double R, that 1000 R, was how aggressive the foot pegs were. So I know if I get something, they'll have to adjust the foot pegs for sure, because I want them at the lowest possible. And when I get comfortable with that riding position, I will definitely readjust them if I feel the need to. And they're gonna have to adjust the height. I want that front end slam about 2 inches minimum. The front load. It's a nice little cruise today. It's a nice cruise today. And they're building up this area big time. They're putting up all these high-class freaking apartments, man. Developers are making a killing. Alright, we got 2.6 miles to go, and it's showing some red and some yellow up here. Not sure why. We're about to find out. How is there fucking sucks, dude. I got a RYker Rally. I could go up this. It's kind of muddy though. Don't want to get the bike muddy. I could make it over there though, but I would have to cross over like 2 barriers to do that. Unbelievable. Fan is on this motherfucker. Oh, can you feel it? Hey, big cash money bag stacked to the ceiling. She say, "Daddy, get the feeling." Yeah, go ahead, because you ain't about to run my ass off the road. Go ahead, go ahead. I don't want them running me off the damn road. Alright, we're getting off at 1.3 miles, baby. Fancy Jackson, baby. Can you feel it? Hey, big bags, money bags. Big bags, money bags, stack them to the ceiling. There you go. Dude, STI is fucking sick. I love STIs, man. It's an amazing vehicle. Way better than the Evo. Can you feel it? Alright, so we're going 87 south. I decided to come this way because when I loop around, the dealership should be straight and Continental. They are doing a lot of construction. little bit, make sure it's don't hit me. That's crazy. I never seen a BMW like that. Should look wild. And look at this shit here. Unbelievable, dude. This traffic is fucking crazy. It's crazy ass traffic, dude. It's crazy. And what sucks about this is the other thing that I hate about this. You can't lane split in this thing because it's too fucking big. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. And that's part of the problem right there. Are we going to exit Fredericks Road? I've never been to Alamo Cycleplex, ever. I don't even remember passing it up, ever. What is this? Exit 559. So we going on the next exit. So none of these motherfuckers do that. What he just did. Just don't do that. Check my 6. Yeah, I went ahead and took off the mirrors too. I actually put them on the Harley because I hated the mirrors on the Harley. Underneath, I hated them even more when they were on the top. So I put the monitors on there, the cameras, and they worked okay. I was just too lazy to, you know. So when I sell the bike, I might actually take them back off and put them back on here, maybe. I don't know. Have to see. Alright, where's Cycleplex, man? Where's Cycleplex? Oh, I gotta watch my ass right here. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Oh, here it is. Can't turn there. Let's go, baby. Woo. Ooh. Hey, how you doing, man? Alright, let's get this shit off and get inside, baby. Let's go find my man Homer. talk to him a little bit. Talk to him for a second.